guys, so today I wanted to bring you my winter foundation routine, and I am in a big puffy jacket because it's freezing and I just got out of the shower, which is why my hair is tied. But during the winter, I know that a lot of people have requests for different foundation routines and things because your skin changes during the winter. Usually it's a little bit more dry, it's a little bit harder to manage and things like that. So I wanted to take you through my tips and my tricks for kind of combating those flakes. I usually have oily skin, but during the winter, it's like oily, but it still gets dry and cracky. So I wanted to show you how I because in the summer, you're going to use a different foundation than in the winter. The weather's different, your skin is acting different, etc. So I'm just going to show you kind of my tips and tricks, what I do, how you guys can combat oil and at the same time combat flakes and dryness and any chappedness. And I hope that you guys enjoy this, and I hope that it helps you. The first and foremost thing is to moisturize, and this is what I've been using for winter. And I like to moisturize right when I get out of the shower because I feel like my skin retains it more. But this is the kind of step 3 of the Clinique system. I don't use the Clinique system. Maybe I'll do a review of it soon. But this is the dramatically different moisturizing lotion, and there's the dramatically different, and then there's another one that has like oil in it or something, or a gel, dramatically different gel. Gel is better for acneic skin, but this has not broken me out, and I feel like this is really good for the winter. So that's what I have on right now. And I really like it because it goes into my skin, like it absorbs really quick, so that way I can apply my next products without waiting. I just need to wait like 5 minutes and it still moisturizes. Next is to apply a primer, and my absolute favorite is the Hourglass Veil. I love this one. I've loved it for a year. I've had probably 6 to 10 tubes of this stuff. It's unbelievable. It's honestly like rubbing pearls into your skin. And it is a mineral primer, and it's oil-free, and it has an SPF 15. And I know people usually think of SPF for the summer. Trust me, you need it in the winter. Reason why is because that sun protection factor will help you against, like, especially if you live in the snow, there's going to be a glare. People don't understand that you get just as much sun exposure in the winter as the summer. Maybe a little bit less, but it is still essential. So this is amazing. This is great, and I feel like it's pretty moisturizing. It goes on so smooth. Now, the biggest tip I have here is that primer and moisturizer are essential for concealing those flakes. Reason why is because if you apply foundation directly to your skin, what's going to happen, it's going to catch onto those flakes and like slough off and be really gross. Right now, we're applying the primer. So if there are any flakes, this is going to like cushion them and like absorb into those dry flakes so that this will flake off more and the foundation won't come off in peels. So this is kind of like collecting those flakes before we put the foundation on to make sure that they're not there. Because the flakes are dry and they're dead skin cells, they kind of absorb a little bit of this mineral stuff, so that way they either come off when we're rubbing, or they just kind of sit there and they're mattified and they're underneath our foundation so they don't cause problems. So I am just going to finish rubbing this in. This is like velvet. I love it. And I usually like to apply, something else during the winter, like a sunscreen. It's always a good idea, but when I have products that have SPF in it, sometimes I feel okay going without one. So now that I've rubbed in that silky goodness, I'm going to conceal. And there's a couple of high-end stores that I like, but I use color correction basically, especially today when I have pimples. I really do like to use color correction, and there's a couple of high-end stores that I use, but this is a cheap one. It's Coastal Scents. It's pretty good. You could use a green primer, but here's the thing. I feel like for acne, you need a concealer that's green. Reason why is because we're going to go in specifically. It's not our entire face that's red. If you get a sunburn, that's when you use a green primer that goes all over the face, like a Makeup Forever primer. Reason why is because you're red and inflamed. My entire face today is not red, it's just these spots, so that's what I'm going to do. Tell me, do you guys want a video on how to cover up pimples with green concealer? Do you want a video that goes into detail that, or do you want a detailed video on color correction? Sometimes I like to use a bigger concealer because I have bigger spots. Today I'm just going to use a mini Bare Essentials concealer. Going to take a little bit of green and just apply this to some of my reds. I'm going to like layer this on and make it very pinpoint and accurate. As you guys can see, in general, my nose is a little bit of a redder area, so I'm just using kind of a full concealer to cover that up. This is more of like a full conceal. This is just spots. So I do have some under eye stuff. It's not terrible, but it is a little bit bothersome just on certain days. So I'm going to take a little bit of the yellow just to conceal any blue that I have there. And I'm just going to apply it with my brush and then blend it out really well. Because it can be a little bit obnoxious every now and then. Now I want to blend this. Next, smack dab on top of this concealer, I'm going to apply foundation, and I'm using the Almay Smart Shade Balance. And I honestly don't care for this as much. It is not my shade. That's the only reason why. Thing is, it's skin balancing, which I agree with. I like it for that reason, and it has SPF 15. So I chose the color light. It's not my color, but for winter, it is very moisturizing. It's a little bit dewy, but not oily. So it doesn't cause cakey dryness. It keeps that away, but at the same time, it combats oil too, which is kind of weird. But it's a really nice consistency. It's just the color that I do not like, and it's supposed to like match to your skin. It doesn't. So I just apply this a little bit. Next, smack dab on top of this concealer, I'm going to apply foundation, and I'm using the Almay Smart Shade Balance. And I honestly don't care for this as much. It is not my shade. That's the only reason why. Thing is, it's skin balancing, which I agree with. I like it for that reason, and it has SPF 15. So I chose the color light. It's not my color, but for winter, it is very moisturizing. It's a little bit dewy, but not oily. So it doesn't cause cakey dryness. It keeps that away, but at the same time, it combats oil too, which is kind of weird. But it's a really nice consistency. It's just the color that I do not like, and it's supposed to like match to your skin. It doesn't. So I just apply this a little bit, and sometimes I just droop it directly to my face. Sometimes I put it on a brush. You should just get it on another brush, you know, just kind of dot it all over my face, different areas, kind of spread it around. See that? Like all of a sudden it goes on one color and then I sweep it and it comes off another color. It's like super weird. But the overall consistency texture is really nice, and it works well for this winter season. Then I hate it when it like dries different colors. That's like super weird. But next I take just like a big foundation brush and I just kind of scoop all this in. And this just blends it into the concealer so that we don't have a big old green nose. And I kind of go over my eyes too sometimes just because they're there. So this is kind of applying foundation, blending foundation, and blending out concealer all in one. And again, I like this one because it's a light, kind of a medium coverage foundation, but it's a really light foundation. So it feels light on the skin, but it gives a good medium coverage, especially with powder. So that's next, powder. And I usually do not like mineral powder because it gets super, super oily for me in the heat. In the winter when it's a little bit colder, it doesn't get as oily, even if my skin is oily. And I still hate Bare Essentials, things like that. I'm using Illusion, what is this? Surreal Skin Mineral Makeup by Urban Decay. I do like this one. I'm itchy, that's why I'm itching. I get itchy noses, I don't know why. I'm using my brush to itch, is that weird? But I really like this one in general for mineral, especially because I'm not a big mineral fan. Comes with this thing. I never use this. Reason why I think about it, you're putting this on your skin all the time, you're going to break out so bad. This is going to collect so much bacteria. So I actually unscrew the little bottom. I just dip my brush straight into that, or into this. Next, I'm taking like a Buki, and I tilt my head back just to kind of get it on all in one place. My head's falling off, huh? Yeah, my towel thing's falling off. So first I pat it on, and once I get like a basic color bye thing, once I get this on, then I go in circles and blend. But first I want to make sure I pat it on. That way I'm not rubbing off foundation. And then I kind of swirl. Now I got like powder all over my furry collar of my boyfriend's jacket. That's not very nice of me, huh? He's gonna be mad. He's gonna be like, what did you do to me? So I really hope that you guys enjoyed that and found it helpful. The ending did get cut off, so I'm just redoing it. And I actually have a tutorial on this look, but this is like my everyday winter face and my everyday winter foundation routine. So I hope that you guys found this informative. If you have questions, leave them below. If you guys have any favorite products or favorite winter looks, be sure to either post them in the comments or post it as a video response. But this is just my everyday foundation to combat dryness, to combat oiliness, to combat acne, and kind of make our face look fresh and beautiful for winter. So I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you on the next video. Bye.